Welcome to USC Annenberg, and we are having an Adobe Express workshop today. And this is Sydney.
Hi everyone, I came all the way from New York City to be here. Super excited to be here. We did an event last night. We're doing a series of events while we're in town because the idea is me and my colleagues here, Jordan and Ember. We're on the community team at Adobe, which means we go and we work with different communities to basically bring them together and connect them closer with each other, but also with us as a product and as a brand. So Adobe Express, who here has used it? Okay, who here has heard of it? Okay, so it is a newer product. It came out not this past December, but the December before, so it's not that surprising. Adobe Express is our bridge from designers to non-designers. It is really honing in on a thing of creativity for all. So we want to be able to enable anybody to design, even if you have no experience or resources to be able to design. So you all who actually have access to Creative Cloud Libraries get the premium version of this for free. There is a free version. And I actually operated I was like a director of marketing for one of my clubs at my university, and I did the free version for years. It's great, but you get a lot more coolness from the premium. So I encourage you to get into there. Hannah's an ambassador for our product. She's also an ambassador for like many of our Adobe products, so she really knows what she's talking about. So she's going to lead a workshop today, getting a little bit more into that. But the idea is you can use this tool. It's a template-based software. You can use it. I use it as like a design Pinterest for inspiration on how to design. I'm not a designer, but I also use it as a jumping off point. You can get into any template and remix and make it your own. I used it to make my resume, my business cards. I used it for my graduation invites. Now I use it for event promos. So whatever your use case is, there's certainly something in there for you. And whether it be social media, web, or print. So I will pass it over to Hannah. If you have any questions, let us know. Jordan in the back is one of our community leaders who actually works directly with people who have specific questions about the product. She has business cards in the back. So if you get into the product and you start to have questions, Jordan is super helpful when it comes to that. So I'll leave it to you, Hannah.
Thank you. So hi guys, some of you of course I know for my other classes. I'm so happy you guys are here. So I'm going to start it, and I actually we did send you the link to this presentation. And in this presentation, you can see how you can use Adobe Express in general. Just want to make some kind of comments before. You have Adobe Express on desktop, and on desktop, it is kind of an umbrella for three kind of applications, which is Adobe Express to create immediate graphic, Adobe Page, and Adobe Video. I'm going to try to concentrate only on Adobe Express today. There's not a lot of time to do Adobe Page and Adobe Video, and then they're working to improve and making the application better and better. If you're using a device, an iPad or a phone, you can download the three of them as an application because they are separate application on your device, and you can start working. So what I have over here, I'm just going to put you through a little bit. So what I did here, I gave you some kind of information about the project that we're going to do today, where we're going to do, to RSVP. And then this is like a template that I shared with you. And then in this template, I just wrote, come support our team, Sunday, April 9th, made it up at 12 p.m. because we know we have an amazing football team here. There's a basketball team. I just decided to go and bring like the USC colors. So how did I get that? I actually went to the department of the communication here and took the real colors and all the stuff here. And that's what I have over here. So before we get started, how do you start with Adobe Express? You're going to have to excuse me a little bit. Every now and then I will say Adobe Spark because that was Adobe Spark. And then sometime I will say that, like in InDesign, I still say master pages instead of parent pages because they're changing it. So just do woo or something like that. I also will invite you to create some stuff. And if you feel like creating, I opened a link on a Padlet, and you see the link over here. And you can just take the link and upload everything that you do and put it, and we can share what we're doing over there. Because also I want you to be very attentive because I have special prices over here. I have 3 pairs of socks, and then maybe we'll decide on a question. Maybe Josh will do the questions. I have to put you on spot. And then three of you are going to be the lucky one to go home with Express socks. Okay, so I'm going to go back, and then you can see here, you do have everything here. So I have a lot of stuff. Sometimes I write for inspiration. Where do you get your inspiration when you start? You get it inside Adobe Express, but you also can go into Behance to get some inspiration to see what people are doing. And from there, you can go to Adobe Express over here. And then how do you set it up? I'm going to show you in a minute how you set it up. I'm not going to set it up because I have it already. But basically, you go to express.adobe.com. And if you have permission to use it because you have an Adobe ID, you can just use it because you guys have free Creative Cloud. I just heard that every baby is born in this country gets an Adobe ID with the Social Security right away. So everybody has that. So these guys are the icon that you have on the phone. Do you see that? So it is going to be a standalone. And what can you do over here? You can create your brand, and I'm going to go through this with you guys. You can also go in and use graphic for social media, create different projects, have Adobe Creative Libraries. How many people use here Adobe Creative Cloud Libraries? I want to see more hands. I know in my classes for the certification, we said it's not part of it, but in real life, you really want to start using Adobe Creative Cloud Libraries, because that's when you start moving around your assets, and then you can share it with everybody. So I have some templates over here. I also have some kind of information, but enough with this. I'm going to go back here, and then I'm going to exit the full screen. And basically, I'm going to go to Adobe Express right now. So what you see now on the screen, this is my Adobe Express. So you can see my little face over there. Maybe I have some messages over here. And then on the left side, you can see some kind of icons, which is home, project, brand, libraries, scheduling, which is new, and learn, which is an amazing area. We have all kind of video and things like that. So, and all the way down, if I go a little bit down, you can see I have templates for me. And all the way down here, you can see the recent project that I made with Express. So if I'm going to click on the word projects, you can see different kind of project that I created with Express. Some of them are Express page, some of them Express video, and most of them are Adobe Express graphics. And that's why we're doing it today, just to go in and create something. So I'm just going to put something on. So let's say we had Valentine's Day a few weeks ago. When was it? I don't remember anymore. So I just created very fast an Adobe Express Valentine card. And that was super easy to create because I took some images that I had either from Express or from my library, and I end up doing that. And once I had that, I end up sharing it, downloading it, and you can see it's even moving. So a little slide of animation if you want to go and do stuff like that. So I'm not going to go and talk to you about my other project that I had, but I'm going to go and see how we're going to start something. So if you want to follow me, you can, or you can just watch me. So look what I have here. I'm going to go in and let's say create a new project. And by the way, before we're doing that, you can see here in the libraries, I click on the libraries and you have this library. So you can see here, I have shared libraries over here. I called it Express Event USC. And if I click on it again, you can see what I have here. I do have a template there. And this one is a template that you can actually click on it and start doing your own stuff based on the templates. I also have assets. And what asset do I have there? These are the assets that I have here that I started creating something. And then again, we can do anything else from it, or we can create whatever we want. So a lot of time, I will go in and take some assets for inspiration, either from Adobe Express, or I can just take it and put it in a library and every there. So let's say I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go back to home, and then I'm going to create a new project. So what do I see here? And why do we want to use Adobe Express? It's not taking away Photoshop. It's not taking away Illustrator and the other Pro tool. It's basically kind of a vehicle for you to start something very fast if you need to do it. And then of course you can use images from Photoshop and Illustrator as at all, but sometimes you need for like any classes that you are on, maybe you need to do a flyer. Maybe you need to do a fast social media. Maybe you're sitting with your phone somewhere without your laptop and you don't have Illustrator or Photoshop, and you don't have Illustrator on the web because it's not on the phone yet, and Photoshop on the web, it's not on the phone yet, and you need to do an emergency flyer. So that enables you to go to Adobe Express and start creating. So again, it's kind of like a step to go in, and sometimes that's how you stay with. So what can I do over here? I can create different kind of graphics, and you can see it tells you web pages, video, Instagram post, Instagram story, graphics, or something from a photo. But what I really like lately in Adobe Express is the quick actions. And that's a new change that we have. And look what we have over here. We can resize images, remove background, convert to JPEG, crop images, convert to SVG. We also can convert to PDF. We can resize stuff. Also, if you go all of a sudden and open Acrobat, you'll see the little symbol of Express there. And what does it mean? You can click directly from Acrobat and create and do a nice page there. And I might open Acrobat and show you how to find it. So in a lot of places, you can start seeing kind of integration. I use Canvas, not Canva. Nobody, Canva is not the word we're using here, right? But I use Canvas for my other school that I'm teaching. And all of a sudden, I discovered the other day that I have Express on Canvas. And I can click there and upload all my stuff to it, which is really cool. It was completely news to me. I didn't know it's happening, but it is. Yes. Yeah. I can open even later Canvas so you can see. Never open Canva. How many people using Canva? Okay. So who took pizza? No, Okay. So it's not that I'm telling you don't use it, right? But this is kind of like maybe Canva on steroid, made it a little better. The reason it is really cool, I'll tell you why. I mean, I'm serious. And that's the reason I'm using the Adobe product, is because the seamless round trip and collaboration that you have with this Adobe product. So this is, I think, when they did the right thing with Creative Cloud, because I paint a lot, let's say on Fresco, but I do also other application. But the reason I stayed with Fresco, because I see it on my Creative Cloud and I can take there to any other places. And this is, I think, the key and the secret for the success that they have. You can take everything that you do and share it with everybody with a link and anything. So let's say we're going to create new. What do you think we should do? Should we go into my template, or should we go in and change that? So if I'm going to go, let's say, to my template, and then I'm going to click over here, and this is a template. So I can say create from. I don't know if you have the template or not. It takes a moment, and look what I have over here. It's something that I already created over here. Maybe I really don't want to have it like this today. Maybe I want to go in and say, come join us for Adobe Express invitation, but stay with it the same color and things like this. What I have over here, I can go in and select object or images that I have, and it is actually my template that I made. And I can go back here and then I can do some stuff. So let's say I'm going to go back to these guys here, and then I kind of don't want to have them. Or you know what? I'm going to replace them with something, because maybe I want to go in and put something else in there. So I'm going to look at my assets and I'm going to see what I have here. And then I'm going to go back here and put another image in there. and it is from my library. And it takes a moment. And look at the image that I have. It doesn't have the background. Why did it happen? I'm going to select it and delete it for a minute, because the other images that you had, I removed the background. So let's say I'm going to click on all these guys. I'm going to click on these guys. And now I'm going to go in, and I really want to click here and have these girls. And look at that. I'm going to do something about graduation maybe. And then I'm going to zoom into it. And I'm going to hold on the shift key. You still have to hold on the shift key. It's not Photoshop that you don't have to do it anymore. But look what I have over here. I don't want to have the background. I have no time to go to Photoshop now. Or maybe I have it, right? We said maybe one device. So while I have it here, you can say remove background. You can clap if you're happy when you see how fast it is. It might not be as fast with the internet over here, but usually it's really fast. How cool is that? Look what happened. I didn't go to Photoshop. I just did that. And look what I have over here. So this is the image that I have. I can erase stuff over here. So if I don't like something, I can go and erase some stuff. I can also restore. I can go and paint with my brush over here to take away some stuff. And then I'm going to go and click OK. So now when I have it here, basically this is the image that I have. And then I took it from my Creative Cloud, but at the same time, I could have taken something from Express library as well. So now what if I want to do something like this? I'm going to go back here and put it somewhere in the center. And then I don't need to do any save. Why? Because it's a web-based application. So everything that you do, you can redo it again. One thing that I want to give you an advice, once you start creating your own stuff and you want to change it, I would duplicate it. Always duplicate what you do, give it a little different name, and then go and change it. Because if not, it changes automatically, and then it's going to be. What? Yeah, it doesn't flatten it. It just, no, it doesn't flatten it. So what do I have here talking about flattening it? You see all the way down, this little widget over here? What are these? These are kind of layers. It's not exactly layers like Photoshop, but I can go back here and I can click on the layer over here, can click on the layer here. So you see what I have here? I put in here kind of like a little symbol just to put it inside come and support the team. Maybe I don't want to have that. I'm going to put it here. It is not going to be anything about our team today, but I took the frame and maybe the font that I have here, the typefaces, and I'm going to go and use that. So I'm going to go back now to the text. And then I have some ideas how to put my text over here. And you can see here, I have a bunch of ideas over here. Working from home, breaking news, and things like this. I can go in and say breaking news, and look what I have here. This is breaking news. I don't want to go to this one. I'm going to click over here and say breaking news. This is what I want to go and do the stuff with it. And then I'm going to go back here and I can do some stuff in it. If I don't want to have the breaking news over here, I say, we are graduating. And I have that over here. So I'm talking about graduating over here. And if I'm going to go in and select the stuff that I have, I don't want to have it this color. So I'm going to go back here and I might go here and I have this color. Why do I have the color from USC? Because I sampled it. How did I go in and do that? I went to the colors and I end up sampling. So you can see here, I'm going to click here on the widget and I'm going to go in and sample colors. And that's how I got the colors. So if I sample this, I'm going to go back here and I'm going to edit to the stuff here. And now I have the colors. So these are my USC colors. Hopefully I stayed true to that. And I have it here. What else do I have here? By default, it gave it to me as shapes. I don't like the shapes. So maybe I'm gonna turn off and I have we are graduating. Maybe I'm gonna do and put it into the center. And now it's gonna show you other information, how to do the text, suggestion, recommendation. We are graduating. And then you're gonna ask me, where are these typefaces from? They're coming from the cloud. So if you have Adobe Creative Cloud, you can use Adobe Creative Cloud here, and these are the typeface that you have. Of course, I can do things that's not gonna work, or I can go back all the way up and decide I'm gonna make it myself. So I'm not gonna do that. So I'm gonna go back here and decide, maybe I wanna go and make it as a round area. I don't like stuff like this in general, you know me for my other classes, but maybe for this flyer, we kind of want to have like kind of an arc and tell us that we are graduating. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger and maybe go back to the girls, make them a little smaller and house them inside the area. And that's going to be maybe a little, almost a little logo that you're creating because you are graduating today. And then there's going to be some kind of information about the stuff that you're doing. So I can go in and create some more stuff. Maybe I want to go in and I want to go and bring some shapes. So in the shape tab, all the way down here, you have regular shapes. And then you can click more over there and there's more regular shapes. And one of the things about the regular shapes, even if I'm not going to use it, look, the regular shapes have a fill and a border. These are the only one that has a fill and a border, or as we call it in Illustrator, a fill and stroke. So when you choose regular shapes, you can have a fill and a stroke. Oh, they call them basic shapes, basically. When you use the other shapes, they kind of like so far pretend shapes. They don't have the way they are. You just can change the fill color for them and just do that. Does that make sense? Any questions so far? Anything? Is it clear more or less? Is it good? Are we happy? Good. I'm just checking to see if everybody is with me. So I'm going to go back and go away from the basic shapes and look what I have here. These one are kind of maybe, I'm going to go in and type graduation. And then maybe something is going to show up over here. One thing I'm going to tell you, that's me. I type not so cool. And then sometimes I have my little spell. If you don't spell it right, you won't get what you want. But look what I have in graduation. So I have different kind of images over here or shapes, and I can go back and bring them over. So they're not cool, or maybe they're not the best, but you can just go back here and bring it over. I brought this one. This one is actually by mistake. So I'm going to select that. And guess what? If I'm going to stay with my USC colors, maybe I want to go in and put it here. I don't want to have this type here. So I'm going to take it away. But now I might go and make it bigger. Holding down, which key am I holding? Who knows which key am I holding? Who said shift? Good. Yeah.
You need to hold shift. I'm resizing stuff without.
Oh,
holding shift.
if you
You're
don't,
keeping
maybe
this
you
in there.
don't. I'm holding shift key the whole time. I don't know. Maybe you don't. So bring back the side. No, it's okay. Give her one. But what I have over here, look what I'm doing. I can go back here and I have it in multiply mode. That's a little darker. I'm going to have it in screen mode that you barely see it over here now. But I go back to normal and I might change a little bit the opacity. So what am I creating right now in terms of graphic? I'm creating some kind of depth, and I'm going to go to this little shape and I'm going to put it somewhere below everything. So you can see now I have it over here and I can make it a little lighter, and then I get some kind of graphics or something that I have here, and I'm going to go back and just play with it like that. So let's say I'm going to graduate over here. Maybe you don't have to have the girls from here. Maybe I want to have something else. I'm going to go in and hold down, not the shift key, and then I'm gonna go to this guy and I'm duplicating it. So what do you hold down? How do you duplicate? Command C, Command V, or Optional Alt, yes. Who remembers that? You have to remember it because you know how many times I mentioned this shortcut. But now I have the other one over here. I can basically go back here and reflect it. So I have the two of them over there. I have the girls over here. Not sure I'm going to use them yet. I'm thinking maybe I'm going to bring more girls from the library. Still now, I can go in and decide to share it with somebody, or I can continue while I'm working with that. So now I'm actually going to go into my library, and then I can see what I have over here. So in this library, I do have two girls jumping. So I might go back into these two girls and then make them a little bit bigger because they're not wearing the clothes that we have, but it's okay. We are going to remove their background too because they are so happy that they are graduating. And where did I take that? I took that from Creative Cloud, from Adobe Stock. So you can see it's not a bad selection. If I needed to be a lot pickier, and I didn't say again, I can just go in and edit the cutout. And where do I'm going to edit the cutout over here? It's not going to be perfect, but you can see here that I have a brush, and I can go back here and and I'm going to go to my bracket and look what I'm doing. So I'm basically taking away some of the stuff and fixing a little bit the cutout. So you can do stuff like that if you need to do it. And then I'm going to go back here and click OK. For me, it is okay now. I'm going to go back here and I'm going to zoom out to it again. And I'm using the regular zoom tools, which is Command plus or Command minus, Control plus and Control minus. And I'm just playing. So if you're familiar with other Adobe application, you kind of feel like home. And this is one of the reasons I said I chose to use Express as opposed to others, because the option, the Alt, all the keys are really familiar. I see the libraries. So the naming convention is also something that I feel at home. And I can open it and in 1 minute create something. So I might go back here and click on the girls over here and move the girls because I want the jumping girls to be here. They look a little bit different. It's a little bit better. It's more like together we are graduating. And then you do have your symbols all the way up there. And now I'm going to go back here and just put this one here and make it maybe a little bit bigger. Or I'm going to put it actually all the way down. And why am I putting it all the way down? But it is a cutout and I don't want to see the cutout. So I have it all the way down here. And then if I didn't want to see the other cutout over there, I might go back here and just put it all the way down here. And now you see the girls kind of like on the side. And then I'm going to edit the cutout. And in this case, if I wanted this area to be a little rounder, I might go back here and make it kind of round. I'm going to try, I'm cutting ahead. And you see here, or maybe I'm going to do stuff like that. So it doesn't see that she doesn't have the arm there or something like this. So I have some stuff like this, and maybe I'm going to go and use that. So I'm going to click OK. I have the girls over there. I'm going to zoom out to it. So now I'm going to go in already to the text that I had. And I'm going to go back here and say the class of 2023. And then I'm going to go back here and make it a lot smaller because I don't want it to be as big over here. And I'm going to go in and make it into one line. So you see those few lines? It is actually so easy to work with it. And I'm going to go back here and put it here. Do I want to add to it a different color? It doesn't have to have only USC colors. I can go back here and I decide that it is going to be black over here. So that's going to be kind of like cool. And then I can have class on 2023 over here. and then I'm going to use that. And remember, I started from a certain template that gave me the colors already and some images that I have. But I want to bring more stuff. And in this stuff, I'm going to go in and bring the graduation. This one, I had it, and it is from Illustrator. I know sometimes you bring some other stuff. And this one was Adobe Creative, Adobe Stock, and it is a vector-based stuff that we have. So I have here just graduated. I can put the stuff over here next to it, or I might go back here and put it instead of that. You guys tell me, what do you think? Where should I put just graduated? Where should I put the image? Should I leave the image here? Should I move it around? You guys can give me some suggestion. Not all the time my design is going to be okay, right? So shall I leave it there? Yeah, good. I know you want to pass the test. I know. So I'm going to go back here. But now, do I have any stuff from the library? I have any stuff from my library too. I have also a lot of other graduation areas. And these guys are just little hats that I have over here. It might be a little too much. So I'm thinking, maybe I'm going to go back here and put it kind of on top of the background and maybe make it kind of like lighter. I'm not sure, but you can see I'm creating some kind of stuff over here, and then it is looking kind of good, right? I'm not really worried. I'm kind of not sure about the girls over here. So maybe I won't use that, or maybe I'm going to go to these girls and try to add to them an effect. So really, you can hesitate while you're doing. You can see I'm playing with the stuff, but look how fast it is. If somebody knocks on my door now and say, do you have the class of 2023 now? And say, yes, let me send it to you with a link. I'm going to send it to you in a minute, and you'll see that. So now I can open a filter. Maybe I want the girls to look like that. So I'm going to go back to the filters, and this is what I have. Not a lot, but I can make them darker. I can make them lighter, grayscale. I can go back here and make them here. So maybe I like it a little bit more, or maybe that. I'm not going to make them turquoise because it doesn't really sit with these colors, but I might make them kind of black and white. And that's going to leave it some kind of fun over here. I can always take away the effect. Does that make sense? So you can do some kind of variation, which we're going to do it in a minute, because we can go in and create another page. And then we can decide which one we're going to use for our presentation. So I'm going to go back to the girls over here. And then, do I need some enhancement? Do I need to change the contrast? Do I need to change the brightness? Maybe I want to make it a little lighter. And then you can see the saturation. I can saturate it. I can do highlight. I can also enhance, and I can also sharpen it. Not too much, but that's going to be a little bit too much if I have. Maybe I want to go back here, and then while I have it, maybe I want to go in and put them a screen, and that's going to be less invasive, and maybe you're going to have girls smiling. Kind of like that. So I'm going to zoom in, and I'm putting a lot of stuff on this one on purpose. And I'm going to put this one here, and I'm going to go to just graduated, hold on the option key, making it a little smaller, hold down the option key and put it over here. So let's say I did that, and I want to go in and share it with somebody, and I'm not done. I'm absolutely not done, but I want to go in and share it with somebody. I might go back and do the title a little bit, work with other symbols a little bit, but I'm going to go. One thing I can do is download. I can download it as a PNG, a JPEG, and a PDF. I'm going to do a PNG right now, and I'm just downloading it. Already did one thing. Maybe I want to go in and share it. So I'm going to go back here and share it. So I can publish, schedule, invite you guys, and guess what else can I do here? I can also create a new template from that and then share the template with you. I'm not gonna do that, but I'm going to go back here and publish it. So when I publish it, look what I can do with it. Pinterest, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and then I can go back here and also share it as a link. And I'm gonna choose to share that as a link. And this is my link, and I'm just gonna go back here and copy the link. And then if I copy it and put it anywhere, and maybe in a new tab, and I'm gonna go in and paste it, I'm just gonna go back here and look at that. I can share it with anybody and say, do you really like it? And they're gonna tell me, no, we don't. It is really messy. You have too many elements there. I know you're going with it, but it's too many elements that you have. But no matter what, I'm gonna go back to my USC Padlet, and then I'm gonna go back all the way down here. And then I'm going to go back here, and then I'm gonna click on that, and then cancel this one here, keep working. And I wanna go back here and change my template. I mean, I don't wanna modify it. I don't have anything here. I'm just maybe going, maybe this Padlet, it is the one I wanna do. And I'm gonna call it USC. I think this is the one I sent you the link to. So what I'm having here, I'm doing that. And now I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna add some stuff to it. So I can go in to my Padlet and then all the way down. Hopefully it's gonna let me do that today, which it doesn't let me do it. I don't know why, but we're gonna figure out why. I mean, anybody used the tablet a minute ago? I used it, and maybe because I didn't pay, I don't know. Okay, but you can go into a Padlet and absolutely upload the stuff that you have and then have the stuff in there. So each time you do something, you can also share it with people. But I'm gonna go back to the stuff that I have here. I'm actually going back to home. And then when I go back to home, this is what I have all the way down. So one thing that I wanna go and show you that I work in my workflow, look what I have here. I do have some stuff that I created, and then you can see the event that I have. I created this one as a template. I want to go in and name it. So I'm going to call that graduation. And now if I want to edit it, I'm kind of afraid to edit it right away because maybe I think that's going to stay as is. So I'm going to click on the three dots all the way there. And we all know whenever the three dots in the Adobe application, what do we see? We see something else coming. So you always want to click. I call it the land of the three dots. It's always something in there. I can rename it. I can duplicate it. I can also make it to a new template if I want. So I'm going to duplicate it. And then I'm going to go in and call it graduation 2023. And I'm going to duplicate it because maybe I want to do something else and still leave the other one that I have and have it as is. Before I move on, I want to ask you guys, any question? Are you able to follow? Do you want to create anything? Yes. Yeah. I will show you how do you save everything in a minute. And then you can see how you can save it as a PDF, an SVG, and a JPEG, and anything that you have. So now I'm going to go back, graduation 2023. Why am I going to this one? Because this is the one that I don't care if I make little mistakes. So I feel like this big area over here, that I made that kind of transparent. Maybe for now, I don't want it. No, I'm just Command Z, right? I can have it back and I have that. So I didn't make any mistake yet. And I'm gonna go and select it again and make it a little lighter, but I kind of don't wanna go, I don't wanna have the big background. I feel like this one gave it too much. So now it's looking a little bit better, and I'm gonna go back here. And all of a sudden I feel like maybe it is going to be something that I want. So what I'm going to do now, I'm actually going back here and you see the add page. So you can actually add another page. So I'm gonna go back here and say the same or a different one, or Facebook, or for letter, or a custom page. I'm gonna do the same of the same page that I have. And really what I have here is 1080 by 1080, and I have the page. What if I wanted to take the default stuff that I have, and from that have it on the different page and go with elimination or add some stuff to it? So I might go back and select everything that I have. Simply, I'm gonna copy it, and I'm gonna go into the next page and I'm gonna paste it. And then I did not copy kind of like the background because I didn't select everything. So I'm gonna go and see what happened over here. So I'm gonna go back here and I wanna duplicate everything that I have. And let's see if now it is gonna copy it the right way. I'm gonna go back here and paste. Yay, it pasted it because I didn't select everything. Now, maybe I want to make it absolutely different, but staying with the same stuff that I have, and I have 2 pages already, right? So are you doing something or no? You're not following me. You do? Yeah, can I see it? Whoa, look at that. We already have one thing here. That's cool, awesome. That's why you got the socks. Yeah. So now I'm gonna go back here and maybe bring something absolutely not from here. So I'm gonna go back here and then I'm going to go in to photos. What if I didn't prepare anything? So I can go back to the photos and maybe we have graduation photos. And look at that, I have graduation photos here. I'm not sure I like all of them, but I might go back here and use it. It is not USC colors, and maybe that's why I don't like it, but I have graduation images. Or maybe I'm gonna say students jumping because they're happy. And now I have student jumping over here, and look at that. So I'm gonna go back and take away this one, and then go back here to the student jumping and bring it here. So here I am not that sure that I can go back here and remove the background. We'll try it. I'm gonna zoom in and I'm gonna remove background. And maybe I'm going to go in and see something. Not bad, but not perfect, but not bad. I have the student jumping and they are basically graduating. That's gonna be fun. I'm gonna go back here, zoom out, and then I'm gonna go back here, and then I'm gonna say USC, and then class of 2023. And now I'm gonna highlight it again. And then when I'm highlighting it, I'm gonna make it maybe aligned to center over here. So you can see it on center, and then I can go in and see how I like to see it. You can see USC class of 2023, different kind of typefaces. And I can also go into the typefaces that I want to go and work with. And then I can go in and just do that. And then USC class of 2023. And in this case, maybe I want to have this one over here. And then maybe I don't want to have, we are graduation. So I'm going to go back here and put this one here. So you can see, I can go back here and play with the stuff and create something absolutely different than the other one. I can go back to this little guy here and make him a little smaller. And then if I want it to be the same, I will duplicate it. And now I have something that looks like that. It's a little empty, but I can go in and change. And then maybe I'm gonna go back here and move these guys over here. So maybe they are jumping, they are so happy. They are just graduating. And you can see I do have another one that I have. I can go back here. I can also download it. I can also go back here and try some animation. Again, it's not something as big, but I'm gonna go into the photo animation. I can zoom in and zoom out. I can pen over here, don't like that. I can make that into gray, and then I can blur it if I want. So it's going from very blurry. I can change it to different kind of colors, and I can fade it to an area that I have. So I might gonna go in and zoom. If I want to zoom it in and now I want to go in and change it, I can go in and download it. And here, when I download that, I can download that as an MP4 video. And that can go a video on Instagram or anything that you have. And I'm going to start downloading. And in a minute, it is going to download and I can show you where I have it and it's all good. So when you go in and download stuff, this is what you see. All pages, you can see this page, PNG transparent background, JPEG and PDF. Does that make sense? And then you can also schedule your downloading and all kind of stuff like that. And then it's scheduled to go directly to a social media that you have. But you see how easy it is while I made it right now. And then I can go in and change it to anything else. And I created it from my template. So now I'm going to go back here and then I want to share it. So maybe I want to make it as a new template. And then I'm going to go back here and then I'm going to call it graduation. And look what it's asking me where to go. It is asking me to go to the library that I created already. So it is going to go to Express Event USC. And now I'm going to go in and save the template. And then it's saving the template. Sometimes it takes a little longer. And then when I'm going to go back to my library, hopefully in a minute, I will see the template. It takes a moment. And then believe me, sometime you'll see it in a minute. And then I have that here. And then you can see here in a minute, I have the template over here. It will show up, hopefully. I can go back here and then I'm going to go back here and then just go back here. And maybe I'm going to bring it from here. So I'm going to say graduation again. And then I'm going to go back and say the note and save it as a template. And that's going to have some kind of a link to it. So I can go in and create templates and create everything that I have. And then I can go in and share it now. And then I'm going to go back here and share. And hopefully I'm not going to be stuck right now. And then I can share the project that I have. If I'm going to go back to regular template though, look what I have over here. These are not the templates that I created. These are the template that you can use. So what does it mean? I can go back here right away and I can decide that I'm going to create a flyer. And this one is maybe different kind of template that you have by default. And that's going to be your template that's supplying for you from Adobe Creative Cloud. So these are, let's say, happy stuff that you have over here. And then you can go back here and start looking at stuff. So let's say I'm going to have something with a book drive, or I have ice cream, or want to go back here and sell some stuff, or even maybe this apartment for rent. It is not you looking for a roommate to come into your apartment, and then you want to create a fast flyer over here with it. So now what you're going to go back here and then say, I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to say, looking for, I'm going to click on it and say, looking for the best roommate. Did I have a spelling mistake? I don't know. Yeah? No, good. That's one thing that I really want them to do is check spelling, especially to somebody like me. Hey, I don't know how to type, my English, whatever. Anyway, so let's say I'm going to go looking for here. And then it tells me already, why does it have a little kind of colors there? Because it has shapes. They made it with a shape. I already see. I don't want it with a shape. I want to go back here and I'm going to click on the color And I'm gonna do different kind of colors. So now I'm gonna have here maybe dark green over here, and I have the color, and I'm gonna go back here and move it somewhere over here. And then this one, I don't wanna have it here. And then I'm gonna go back here and click on that. I think it was part of the area, and that's why, oops. Okay, I'm gonna go back here looking for roommate. And then let's see what this one is. I'm gonna double click. You can always double click on the area and then take away the stuff that you don't want, even if it's grouped for some reason. Let's say this one, I'm gonna go back here and move the image that I have. I moved it completely. I'm messing up that. So it's okay, no harm done. I'm gonna select that and I'm gonna start again, right? So I'm gonna go back here to this area, and maybe this is the image of my apartment. And then I'm gonna go and click that. That's, I have an image below that. So I'm gonna go back here and type looking for roommate. And then I'm gonna go and add my own text. And then I'm gonna go back here and say looking for a roommate. And then I can go and make that a different color, maybe something a little darker over here. And now I'm going to decide on the style of the typeface that I have. So I have found some typeface that it's really, really boldy. And then I'm going to go in and put it here. And I can go and decide, do I want to have it to the center, or I have something like this. I can go into this image and make it like that. Maybe I have other images of the apartment, which I don't have right now. So in this case, I might duplicate it and bring it a little bit later. Select the type and select the image by holding down the Shift key and moving them together. Because this square that I have here is basically an independent one. And I can go back here to the shape, and I can go and make for that a border. So I'm gonna go back here and make for it a border, and the default is white, but I can go in and make it black here. So I can go and play with that. I can have the information about the roommate and everything. And right away, I have a flyer that I took it from a template. So you can go in and take templates from anything that you want and create your own stuff. Go back to Adobe Creative Cloud and create your own libraries and start working. So if I'm going to go into my library over here, I have a library. I can go in all the way down, and I can go in and say, create a library. And I create a library, and I'm going to say demo for Express. And I just create a library. And then over there, I can put my templates and everything that I do. Before I move on to show you a few more things, I can add assets to the library directly from here. So I didn't have to be in Photoshop, and I can start building my library. Any questions, you guys? Yes.
Can you add a border, like that white border around an image that has had the background removed?
No.
Like a sticker?
Still, you cannot do that. So what limitations that you have? You cannot add a border, you can add a border to a background in the beginning, but then if you want to add a border to a shape, it has to be the simple shapes. Then if you go in, so if you have to do it around an image, you have to pretend doing it like a sticker.
Yeah.
So how do I do it? I take it, I prepare it. Oh, I tell you how I do it.
Yeah.
Let me show you how I do it. I have an idea already. Okay, so let's say I have this one, right? Pretend that's whatever, looking for a roommate, right? I'm gonna go back here to my library, and then you want it to look like a sticker, right? So I'm gonna go back to one of my library, and then I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna go back to one of these, and then it's really, I'm gonna go back to, let's say, these girls, right? They're not perfect, but we can do something with it. I have girls that are gonna look a little bit better, but let's say remove background. Pretend it is the good selection that you have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom into it. And basically, I'm going to copy it. So I have a copy over there. And a lot of time I just copy it and kind of create something or make something with it later and then adjust it if it's the right one. So I'm going to offset it and things like this. So let's say this is here and I'm going to go into the one all the way down. And then the one all the way down, might go into a screen mode and see if it's going to do something for me. Or if I go in and I'm going to move it a little bit, you see a little bit. And then I'm going to try maybe find it on a filter and maybe make that. You see now it's gray. So I made it kind of like a little sticker. I call it cheating. It's not cheating. I'm duplicating and putting stuff one on top of each other. That's the limitation for now, because it's not really geared for creating invasive and amazing files all the way. But maybe in the future, you'll be see something that's going to give you more. But look at that. Now it's really cool because they're glowing. They're not really glowing because I have the glow is below. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's the glow, and it's this one below, this one. This one is the regular one. I just didn't do any enhancement. Maybe I'm going to do an enhancement for this one. And if I change a little bit the contrast and make it a little bit more, now you can see the glow even better. And then I have them together and it's kind of cool. So this is how I kind of go in and go to the effect and then go back here and do that. That's how I'm going in. And for some stuff that I have limitation, and then maybe they can look for a roommate. Who said we need, I'm sure somebody's going to like them for a roommate over here. So I'm going to go select that. And then I'm going to go in and they are looking for a roommate over here. If I didn't want this one to be there, I can actually delete that. And then I'm going to go back here and make something that's a little fun. So maybe I'm going to go back here and then I can go into a different kind of shape. And then I go into a different shape and I'm going to go in and put it here and make it a little bit bigger. And really what I'm doing is I'm going to go and put looking for a remote all the way up. And in a minute, you see that. Do you see what I mean? You can go in and just play with the miniature layer and move it. What you cannot do, you cannot lock it. You cannot hide it. It's okay. So what I do a lot of time, I put it in the library, take it away and say, I'll bring it back later. So I'm not that afraid, get in touch. It's okay over here. I like that. And then this is basically the information about the room. I didn't want to write anything about how much it's going to cost, but I'm going to have here, and then maybe I can put it somewhere, and it's going to be a miniature flyer. But what I have over here, the background here is solid color. So if I want to go back and do a different kind of background, I can do any kind of background over here, and then I have suggested colors. Why do I have all these suggested colors? Because they are probably from the brand that I did. And now I see that maybe I like it a little bit better. And maybe I'm going to go back and say multiply. And I'm going to stay a little bit with these colors that I have. Does that make sense? So I can also choose an image to her or choose a solid color that I have here and change that. Does that make sense? If I want to add something else to it, I might go to another shape and then I'm going to say apartment to share. So these guys, they come as is. What does it mean? If I'm going to go back to apartment to share, let's say I have something like that. And then if I'm going to go and put it here, you're going to see it here and I cannot change. I can go back here and change the color, but you can see over here, I cannot add to it any stroke. Does that make sense? I want you to understand only stroke to the basic shapes. These are maybe were done in Illustrator years ago or whatever. I'm just saying they are not the shape like you see in Illustrator that you can do. If you wanted something like this, take it to Illustrator and create your own vector that you have there. This one for now does not have, but I'm gonna put it here, and I have that, and then get in touch is here, whatever I have, and I have some kind of a flyer. I can go back here and share the flyer, and then I can go invite other people to share. So I can invite people to share it with me. I can also make it again into a template, and then I call it apartment to share. And then I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna put it in the USC event. Any questions so far? What do you guys think? I'd like to hear from you. Yes. Yeah. Oh, did you hear that? With another one? Or I can restore it to the beginning, but I can erase it, but I cannot bring other stuff to it. Let's say this one, right? And then edit the cutout. So what I can do is I erase. Let me just erase her arm, this one. It's okay, she has the other one underneath, that's good. I can go back here and restore. The restore will restore basically the stuff that you have. And now I'm gonna go back here and restore. And it's bringing it. So it's kind of harder to do that. Yeah. Yeah, it will gonna do the stuff. Take it with a grain of salt. If you wanna do the stuff that we do in our Photoshop class, it's not happening. It's happening for certain things that are fast and cool and great. And sometimes, believe it or not, I get great design and great remove background. And sometimes even better than I get right away from Photoshop. It's depending on the image that you have. If you have something with all these guys, it's not gonna work. It'll work for you. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Kidding. Anyway, I'm gonna go back here. Anything else you guys wanna see? Do you want to see very fast that I have stuff like this? And look what I did over here. I know I said I'm not gonna do page, but I'm Express page junkie. I love that. I use it for all the stuff. I use it even to promote the classes here. I use it to do tutorial and things like this. So really the way I did it, I created an image over here, and this image was, I took a picture, I superimposed it. I did this image in Photoshop. And then the RSVP and everything, basically, I have the RSVP over here. It's better that I'm looking at it actually here, because you can go back here and see it right away. So everything that I have here, Creative Cloud Library and template, if I click over here, basically I sent you guys a link to my Creative Cloud Library, and now you can go and share it. And look at this, I shared it with you guys. So now you guys can do a whole work with it. And that's why. So I didn't have to send you an email. I just send you a link with the page, and everything is in there. And actually you can use that. I even created a pattern. And the patterns actually I created in Capture. And look at this. Remember I was waiting for them? These are the templates. They came in. They came in and the templates are over here, and I'm very happy. So it's the same link and the same stuff that you have. Another thing that I have here also, I have everything here. So if you want to learn a little bit more, let's say about Adobe Express, I had made a link over here for Adobe Express, and here you do all the learning stuff. So I didn't have to worry about sending you another link. It's all in one link that you have. So everything over here, then you have, let's say, Behance. So if I want to go back here to Behance over here, so exploration, I can go back here and do that. Of course, this one is my page right now because I'm on my page. So I'm going to give myself a little promotion. Yes, I do stream on Behance every Monday at 6:30, and I do different kind of things. So last week I did Illustrator, and guess what? Remember this little Valentine? It's Express, and then I did InDesign, and then I did Express again, and all kind of stuff like that. So all the links are there, and then you can go back here and play with it, how to work with Express. And I also have some samples over here. So if you have this link, you can go and play with that. Even I have some my artwork, not digital or whatever you have. And then I have some samples about Adobe Express and then about creating a video, playing with Fresco, or maybe even for you guys that came from New York, I have a little link for you to visit downtown LA and where to go. And I created that for Adobe Max. So we send it to almost all the attendees, and it's called Explore the Magic of DTLA. And then I even made here, what is that? Table of content. So I'm gonna go back here. You wanna go to the music hall, you go to the music hall. So again, there's so many secrets to Adobe Express where I really want you to ask questions, to be in touch, and I don't know, what else? Are we good? Any other question? Anybody wants to share what they did? Yes. Oh, the pattern I did it in, okay. How did I create the pattern? I created in Adobe Capture. So Capture is another app, but I didn't just do it in Adobe Capture because there is a secret to it. And guess what the secret is? And then it's nothing to do with Express. I did it in Photoshop because Photoshop has some kind, if I'm gonna go and click on that, and then I'm gonna go back to my library. And it's probably gonna bring Express library. And look what I see. Do you see what I put it here? Look at the library. Extract from image. Do you guys see that? It's not in the test. In here, this is Capture that's coming to visit Photoshop. It is visiting also InDesign, by the way. So what do I have? I have a pattern. So I see here, it's from her. I can change different kind of things. If I really like her like this or something like that, I'm gonna go add save to library, right? I have it here. I have it in the library. What else can I do? Shapes. What is this? There's a secret here. In Photoshop, it's pixel. But what's gonna happen if it goes to Illustrator? Good. Who said vector? Okay, and then I can save that to my library. So I can go in and drag and drop it here and do kind of a drop shadow or something like this. I can also do a color theme. How cool is that? You can do gradient and then you discover what typeface you're using. There's no type, it's not gonna do it. And then when you go to real Adobe Capture, there's a lot more stuff there. So I use that a lot. I put it in my libraries already, and then I start dragging it if I need it. Who's using iPad? If you're using your iPad, guess what? You see this pattern there too in the libraries. That's what I had to say. Use Adobe Express, use the Adobe application, and you can see the seamless workshop. And that's it for today. Thank you guys for coming. Did you guys enjoy it?
Yes.
Good.